tuned for sports.
Keeping score with Jess and Dean, the dream.
It is Sunday, September 10th. Game day, baby. Football is back. Patriots, 425, taking on the Eagles. I'm pumped.
Brady's back,
The
too.
halftime show for him. It's going to be amazing. Maybe he can go in, do a couple plays.
Oh, wow. Want to activate him?
Yeah, I mean, we may have to. You know it's true. Eagles is a tough way to start your season.
Well, you're strapped on how many quarterbacks you can dress. We have the OK.
Oh, that's true.
We have the OK Corral. We don't know if it's going to be him or Zappy as the number 2 guy.
True.
We're still not sure about that. But at the end of the day, if Max stays upright, which is definitely a concern, if he stays upright, then the number 2 guy is a moot point.
All right. Well, very good. And speaking of staying upright, later in the show, we're going to have 2-time Super Bowl champ Dan Koppen. He's going to be coming in to chat with us. And obviously, he was on the O-line. He took care of Tom Brady. So maybe he'll be at the game and maybe he can suit up as well.
Oh, you want to suit up all the former Patriots?
Well, it's just like
Well, you really feel good about the current team, huh?
Because we are now on YouTube, we decided to wear our football gear. So I went with the throwback Brady, Michigan tee. And then, of course, you have the GOAT gear right there. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's a nice
jersey.
jersey.
You notice the way that the lettering is on it and the number. And I'm not saying, oh, this one's fake, this one's real. This is the real McCoy. Like,
right.
This one's, it's got the NFL apparel, the logo.
Yep.
We're not messing around here.
No, of course not. I mean, that's worth spending the money for when it's Tom Brady's jersey, obviously.
Yeah. We talked about jerseys before. There's
not getting
I don't
any.
think anybody's worthy of a $300 purchase at this point. And this
not in our team.
And I don't care that he's not with us anymore. Obviously, he retired, but it's like
Right.
I'll always have this. And you notice I brought it out of the woodwork for this occasion today.
Very
This
nice.
is big. I mean,
know.
this is opening day. We usually say opening day when it comes to baseball, but this is opening week 1. It doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah, and the thing is like with me anyway, sports-wise, like I'm always all in for football.
You're
Like
all
I
in.
let you run the show, obviously, because you're the stats guy,
Right.
numbers guy, name guy. You're the guy. But I will interject.
Right.
On time to time on who I think is good and who sucks.
And I think that makes for a better show. I think Dan York would be proud.
And I think Dan York would be
See
proud.
a little bit more
He said-
back and forth.
He said, take a stance. And I'm like, all right. Well,
But
you know.
obviously today at 1 o'clock, the Patriots play at 4:25.
Yep.
So it's like later on today. But really, this is the first week, and obviously you saw it open up the other night with Detroit and Kansas City. But today is when it really begins. This is officially the opening day.
Now, you are going to watch every play of the Patriots game because I love Red Zone, but I feel like for the first game I should, and especially because of the Brady tribute, I feel like I should just watch all of
I'm locked to the Pats.
Okay.
Eagles. Oh yeah. I mean, unless it gets out of whack.
Right.
And then I don't have the patience. But I mean, I have to see it through. And again, it's going to be interesting to see how the Pats attack this Eagles team. It's a very talented team, and it starts at the quarterback position with Jalen Hurts, who's the do-it-all player for them. Had a great season last year, and he's definitely an MVP candidate this year. He was up for it last year, so he's an amazing talent and a guy that I have to admit to you, Jess, was a winner in college, but I did not see him translate into the next level. He definitely showed me something that I didn't know he had. He was always had the ability to win, but I didn't think his game would translate from college to pro. I thought he was more of a runner, but he's proven he can make some throws in the pocket, and that's a difference maker when you know you have the legs to go out of the pocket and make plays.
Well, not only that, is like for the Super Bowl, they could have won, and he performed as if,
Terrific.
Yeah, there was no slump in his play. Like
No.
he was.
I think that was that one turnover where he put it on the ground, they ran it back, and then the next drive he came right down and scored again.
Yep.
He matched Mahomes score for score.
Right.
Just ran out of time in the game. But he's a terrific player, but he's got a terrific team around him also.
Right. So we're going to get into that. But this is the opening of the show. And so I did tell my mom that, okay, we're on YouTube now. And so she's just like, the opening was too long. You guys got to get right into the sports. I'm like, have you been talking to the Greek assassin?
Yeah, I mean, well, another one of our loyal listeners, Droop, said, tell the Greek assassin to mind his business because that's first 6 minutes of nonsense. I live for that.
Oh, that's nice.
So I'm just letting you know
now we're
that there's people.
balanced.
So we got to figure out,
Yeah.
is mom the deal breaker here?
No.
Is she the one that flips the scale?
Well,
I mean,
Well, that's the thing. I thought you would like the first 6 minutes because we were just going back and forth. Because she doesn't. I mean, she knows sports, but she's not going to be like, oh, well, the offensive line isn't good. You know.
I take it Mama Schiano doesn't care about how my week was.
Just like, get to the pigskin. Enough of this. How do you do's?
I need this right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What is your favorite? So what are you going to do today? You're going to watch the game at home. What are you going to eat? You're going to have some pizza? Do you do the chips? Do you do like wings? What are you doing?
It's a field thing. Right now I don't have a game plan for that.
Okay, really?
I don't.
Oh.
I don't. I got to be honest with you. I'm just thinking about football and it's starting and just kind of go off. I don't know. Just go off the cuff.
All right.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I noticed you didn't invite me over, so.
Oh, that's a lot right there. Well, I mean, I'm sure you're going to be in Bobby's kitchen, right?
We're going to be looking up at the TV.
That's a lot to process. He won't lay on the plastic couch.
No, you can't bring any food or drinks into the living room.
He needs to stop with that.
Like, that makes absolutely no sense.
That's what you're going to say, Bobby, I love you, but I'll talk to you Monday. But we're going to go do our own thing.
Right.
But,
because he has the big TV in the living room.
So what do you got for pickies and what do you, like, food? And
Well, he was going to want to make pasta. And as I said, like, we're like, we got to, no more wine, no more pasta.
Okay.
Because we lost too much weight. So we can't get into that. But I'm hoping some wings.
Yeah.
I love some nachos.
Yeah.
Like chip and dip, whatever.
Yeah, nachos are pivotal. I like nachos.
I would even go to Popeyes and maybe get one of those chicken sandwiches.
Oh, yeah, all over the place right now. You're getting hungry over here.
I know, it's true.
Wow.
Well, then, I mean, we went to PJ's the other night and stayed a little too long on that one.
Yeah, it was a school night.
Yeah.
It was a school night.
I was not feeling great the next day. Let's just say I skipped my morning walk, but
wow.
I didn't know. We closed it down. I didn't know it was that late. I got home at 1 o'clock.
Was it that late?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would explain some things. Okay. Okay. Makes a little bit of sense now.
All right, yeah.
All right.
I had to check my Ring camera. I'm just like, what time to get home? 1!
I didn't
on
know.
A school night.
I knew it was in the vicinity, but I didn't know it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
PJ's got us
Good time was had by all.
Yeah, well, of course. And
Yeah.
obviously didn't want to leave. All right.
Yeah.
So let's get into some football. Obviously, we're going to start with covering Pats, Eagles, and then we're just going to go around the league. And I feel like we're going to just be very heavy on football. And that's why we're going to just bang it out right now. You ready?
I am.
All right.
Oh, a lot of gratitude. You know, just I had 2 decades of incredible, life-changing, altering experiences. I have so many memories from my time there, and memories with people there, and I'm creating a new memory with people there. And to go back to that stadium and bring my kids and my family in a different way. You know, I've not been to that stadium in this way ever. I went there as a player. I went there once as a competitor, and now I'm going to go there as really a fan. And then, you know, I'm going to be there in the future as a broadcaster. So I think there's a lot of cool things happening. And again, I think part of life is growing in different ways, expanding different ways, trying new things, and getting outside of your comfort zone.
That's our guy, Tom Brady. They're saluting him at halftime today, which I hope they air the whole thing, which I'm imagining they will, right?
You would think so.
So, obviously, the season opener, he's going to be there. A lot of people, I feel like the ovation is going to be ginormous and for a long time.
Yeah,
and well-deserved.
This is the best, the greatest of all time. There's never been anything like this. There's never been a player so polarizing that did so much for a city to bring so much winning and so much pleasure and joy to people's lives for 20 years, 2 decades. And I think that it's going to be celebrated. I get goosebumps even just talking about it right now. It's just, you know, obviously we've seen how it's been since he's left. And he's just, let's appreciate him and let's honor him because nobody else deserves it more than him. No matter what happened with the Tampa thing and leaving and however, let's forget about the blame game. Let's bring him back and let's honor him.
Yep, and we actually have some audio from Bill Belichick.
Well, it'd be great to see Tom. You know, Tom's meant so much to, you know, this team, this organization, me personally. It's been, you know, it was a tremendous experience to be able to coach him and for us to, you know, share the things that we share together and our player-coach relationship. You know, I mean, certainly recognizing him for all of his great achievements here is more than appropriate, and you know, look forward to seeing him and glad that he's, you know, getting the you know, getting a lot of recognition and appreciation for that because he certainly deserves it.
Sure does.
You think, Bill?
I mean, it's been proven now after you can't win a game.
Yeah, this
so.
coming from a guy who's chasing Schuler at like 7 wins a year the last 3 years, averaging eight wins a year. I think it's Brady. I mean, I think I was telling someone the other day. You look back now, it's like you think about the percentile. If you were to drop in anybody, this is an opinion. I don't have a fact. I'd have to say, because we always said, Brady and Belichick, that was the combo.
Of course.
50-50.
No.
I'd say 80-20, it was Brady. Because let's face it, you don't win 6 Super Bowls. As great as Brady is, if you don't have coaching and you don't have a disciple and you don't have someone who can put it all together, Belichick still is a great coach. He's a great mind. But obviously, I'd say it's more like 80-20 now. It's TB12.
Yes.
I got to give Belichick some due because he's still there and he's compiled a resume with or without Brady, but mostly with Brady.
And if Bill wins, say, 7 games this season, do you think it's time for him to kind of wrap things up? Do you think his job will be basically taken from him?
I think he's starting to lose, when I say I think Kraft is starting to lose faith in Belichick. So that's obviously a problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right there. But I don't know. I think that if they stick with him and he keeps winning 7 games, 7 and 10, 8 and 9, where are you going with that? That's only going to tarnish it when you do pass Schuler.
Yeah.
It's going to be like an app.
Like,
it's
who
going to be
cares?
like a footnote.
Right.
Nobody's going to really care. So but if he was still competing and he's in the playoffs and he doesn't have to win another Super Bowl. If he's got them at 11-6 and they're in the hunt every year, people would say, wow, look at what he's done. And say, yeah, he lost Brady, but he put it back together and at least put a good team out there. But you're going to spin your wheels and you're going to go 6-11, 7-10 every year. And then who's going to really care that you pass Schuler?
No
I
one.
don't think anybody cares anyways.
No. No, who doesn't care? His ex, Linda.
Oh, wow.
Bill Belichick back on the market. That was breaking news.
What?
Yes. He and Linda. So I don't know who Nike's going to. Nike's their dog.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So maybe Tom and
Divorced?
Bill. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow.
I gotta look up the final details, but
This
as
is
I was
like-
walking in today,
It's like TMZ type stuff here.
well, the news guy Paul Zangari,
Yeah.
he's gonna know. He's just like, maybe Bill and Tom will be going to the bars after the game because they're both single fellas, and I'm just like, Bill.
Oh, is that
Linda
what he meant?
dumped-
Is that what he meant when I
Yes!
was on the way in? He was on the way out?
Linda was done with him. You know why? Because she knows he's going to be fired in 2 years. She doesn't like to date losers.
Who gets the dog?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Nike. I think that's the name of the dog, right?
Oh.
I'm going to be looking that up. But why don't we do a little
Talking
preview?
pooches
I
here.
know, seriously. But let's talk about the strategy today for the Patriots. Once again, taking on the Eagles. Patriots getting 4 points at home. How are you feeling about it? How do you feel about the outlook of the game?
Obviously, I'm not a gambler, so I'm just going to tell you who I think is going to win the game. I
Okay.
think Philly's going to win the game. I'm just hopeful that the Patriots can keep it close, and if they're going to win, they have to keep it close early. They can't afford to get down multiple scores. It's just they're not built that way. I don't think Matt can bring them back from 14 down. So I think if the Patriots use that defense that everyone's talking about how good it is, we're going to find out, okay? They've got receivers on both sides. They've got A.J. Brown. They've got Devontae Smith. Those are guys that, Jonathan Jones, whether it's Christian Gonzalez, we're going to find out.
I know.
Can he,
Debut.
because now you got Jalen Hurts. You're going to have to put a spy on him. Could it be Kyle Duggar coming up from the secondary? Because Jalen Hurts, 3,700 yards passing last year with 22 touchdowns, and how about another 700 yards running with 13 more touchdowns? 35 touchdowns combined. The guy, he's a problem. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's going to be really tough to contain him.
Well, that's the thing, and that's where the Patriots, now keep in mind, they are saying how great the defense is. Patriots not great when there's a quarterback that can run.
Oh, you said that last year. We
Yeah.
saw Justin Fields, a team
Yeah.
with the Bears last year. That was they won 4 games. He shredded the Patriots on Monday night. So the Pats have had problems. You've mentioned that before,
Right.
with running quarterbacks.
Thank you for listening.
Oh, I am always listening to you. And of course, Jalen Hurts,
Oh,
as you can see now
show
that
the
we're on
camera.
YouTube,
Yeah.
you can see the visual that he's on the front of SI for the
Nice.
football preview, and it's well deserved. This kid is the real deal,
Mm-hmm.
but this is a good football team all the way around. They were very close to winning that Super Bowl last year, and they're building off that. I like them, obviously, in the NFC along with San Francisco. We're going to get into some other teams later. But as far as this game itself, the Patriots going to have to keep it close early and try to win with ball control and Ramondre Stevenson, maybe a little Zeke out of the backfield to spell him, and hopefully win a tight game. But that's the way the Patriots are going to play. I don't see them being able to put up anything into the high 20s against Philly's defense, because Philly they got some nice edge rushes. I think they got the kid they got the kid Jalen Carter from Georgia. I mean, there's a team that was almost won the Super Bowl, and they ended up with great draft picks too.
Right.
So they're only going to get better. That team is loaded up.
But what they did say, a lot of reports that they did not practice. Like, they didn't do any preseason. None of the starters played in any of their preseason games, talking Philly-wise. and they have a new offensive coordinator, I think, and a new defensive coordinator.
Yes.
So it's like they're going in there, and I know that they're very talented, but they also really didn't practice. You know what I'm saying? They weren't thrown into a preseason game. So do you think they may be a little rusty, and maybe the 4 points is actually they win, but
That's what I'm hoping for. That's wishful thinking.
What are you doing? You looking up your stats?
No, I'm just like, when I'm looking at this Philly team, it's like the rich get richer. They even picked up DeAndre Swift, the running back from Detroit last year.
No relation to Taylor Swift.
I don't think so. But that's just another addition. That's just another weapon. So when you're thinking about stopping Hurts, obviously he's got a running attack too there, and then you got the kid Dallas Goedert, the tight end. He's a terrific player too. So there's going to be a lot of different guys. But Hurts is a guy. It starts with him. That's the guy you have to contain.
Okay.
So I think the Pats are going to have a hard time scoring on Philly's defense. They're going to have to keep the game close and win like a 17-14 game. But I think it's going to be Philly in this one.
Okay. And how do you feel about the O-line? I heard on Friday that Trent Brown, who actually had a good preseason, he was didn't practice, or there was a light practice with him. I mean, I'm feeling like they all should be back. However, I don't know if Mac can be able to stand for more than. I think they're going to get to him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and of course, you got to keep him upright, and it's that offensive line. It's patchwork right now with Cole Strange being out, Onwenu's back, so there's guys that it's going to take a little time to get that cohesiveness. They're going to have a couple of guys. Riley Reif went on IR. He's out the first 4 weeks. So that right side's going to be a mess.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep Mac upright. It's going to be interesting.
To the left. That's where he's going to have to go.
Oh, is this left, right, center again?
No, that's Beyonce.
Oh, wow.
I know you don't know any Beyonce songs, but anyway, to the left.
We're
to
done
the
with
left.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, to the left. I know the song.
Yay!
Yes,
All right, very good.
I do.
Oh, fantastic. So what we also want to do is keep teasing, because Dan Koppen is going to be headed on in at any moment, and we're going to obviously talk about the preview of the game. I believe he's probably even going to the game because, he played with Brady. So unless you want to talk any more about the Patriots, I think we should thank our sponsors and then come back with Dan. How you think about that? Feeling good?
I feel really good about that.
You feel really good?
I feel great
I'm
about
feeling
that.
great. All right. Want to thank our sponsor, Prout Mechanical, located in Providence. You can call them up at 401-487-4343. Even visit them online at ProutHVAC.com. That's ProutHVAC.com. They're a family-owned company. They have over 20 years of experience. They're a Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Diamond Elite contractor. They have the heat pumps, the mini split ductless systems, and if you're looking to heat up your home, the mini splits are the way to go. They're located in Providence, and they service all of Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. They offer services for residential and light commercial. So if you are looking at getting those heat pumps or mini split ductless systems, may I recommend Prout Mechanical in Providence. Their motto, quality and customer service is their top priority. Call them up, 487-4343. We also want to thank Second Time Around Sports, 2 locations in Cranston, because we love Cranston, and Wakefield, because that's a drive for us, but their Wakefield location is hopping. They have a golf simulator and shooting room for hockey. Second Time Around has been open since 1992. They're the professionals. They're the place to go because they have the best of all new and used gear. And we're talking for hockey, football, obviously football season, basketball, soccer, pickleball, and as I said, a big golf section as well. They restring baseball gloves, lacrosse heads, they sharpen skates, re-grip golf clubs.
Say that 10 times.
Re-grip golf clubs. Anyway, both stores are unique and have great selections. And if you want to follow them on social media, because they give you a little sneak peek of what they have in store. And I'm talking walls of cleats, shoes, tons of gear. So if you need anything, Second Time Around Sports, follow them at the number 2X Around Sports. All right, we're very happy to have on YouTube right now, on the show right now, Dan Koppen. Thank you, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Thanks for coming in, my friend.
Thanks, Jess. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my goodness.
How are we doing?
Oh, game day. We're pumped.
Excited.
It's that time.
Yeah.
This is it.
It's the worst time. Like when the end of the majors for golf end.
Yeah.
And I guess there's baseball if you're a baseball fan, but
easy there.
It's kind of,
I'm happy to have you, but easy there.
I root for the Red Sox,
Baseball's in my
but
blood.
It's hard to watch baseball.
She's Yankees
It's hard.
on Red Sox, and they're
there's
fighting.
nothing on TV.
Yeah,
you need football, and here we go.
Sox and Yankees are going to be booking tea times in a couple of weeks, but it's been a tough summer for the locals.
They'll
Let's
probably
just
They're
be
not
it.
very happy. They're not very happy. So we can move on to something
Dan,
hopefully good.
Yeah, Dan, I do know what you're saying, but actually it is a great time too, because in another month, like I said, I like the fall, so You start to see the leaves. And baseball, usually you got the postseason. NFL's kicking in. Basketball and hockey, the camps are open up. So then you got like everything going. Kind of. But
and let's not forget the kids are back in school
Yes,
too,
see
so
ya.
you got some time during the day.
There you go.
It's all coming together.
You can do your
Absolutely.
errands and
Yes.
get everything all done. Well, we're so thrilled to have you. Obviously, you're on K-Mac's show on Wednesdays, checking in with, how you think the team is doing. And you have a new business venture for FB Insure.
Yeah, it's not my venture. I'm just, I'm a part of the team now, and I think it was really an opportunity that came up in the spring, and took the opportunity in the summer as a risk advisor for FB Insure, and it's great so far. I love learning about new businesses. Not just the insurance side of it, but as risk advisors, we go in and really try to understand what the what people's businesses are, how they run, and how we can protect them best.
Yes, and I'd feel very safe with you. So
Thank
it's a
you.
good
You know,
thing.
I mean-
It's a good thing you're on the team.
I think it's it's kind of my mentality.
Yeah.
Protected quarterbacks or running backs for so long.
Seriously.
That's just kind of my mentality. So it fits, and I'm really excited to be at FB Insure and really excited about the future.
Well, congratulations on that. And you did protect one quarterback. I believe the last name was Brady. He is being, I guess, honored today at halftime. You're going to obviously be at the game.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I have the opportunity to go. I'm
Sweet.
super excited to go. I think it's just going to be a spectacle.
Right.
He leaves for 2 years, retires, and retired twice. Didn't he retire twice?
He was teasing us.
Never thought he would be the guy to unretire.
He's done, right?
He's done. I would assume
they
he's
may
done.
need
But
him.
the first
They may
game,
need
the
him to
first
suit up.
chance he has to come back, they bring him back. So I think that's a great job by the organization. I think it's a good thing for him to do, and it's a great chance for everybody to celebrate what he's done for this area.
Yeah, 100%. How are you feeling about the game today? Are you obviously looking forward to seeing your team play, but how are you feeling about the Patriots and their status as of right now?
I think you got to be a little nervous
A little
right
bit,
now.
yeah.
I think it's tough to judge anything from the preseason. The preseason isn't what it was. And you just take a look at what Philly has and what they did last year compared to New England with what they have and what they did last year. Obviously, you're probably going to be the underdog, but you never know. I think you can still hang a hat in Bill you trust, what he's done, and bringing in Billy O for the offense. I think that's going to pay dividends right away.
I think it's going to be a totally different look than what we had last year, obviously.
Well, and we were talking about it earlier, Dan, as far as this team this year. And the first game, of course, you're playing one of the best. And Jalen Hurts is an up-and-coming guy. He can do it with his legs, and he showed he can make throws in the pocket also. What do you think as far as like this team this season, even though it's week one? I'm looking at a situation where if they get down multiple scores, they don't strike me as the team that have the weapons or the personnel. I don't think Matt can just rip it if they're down 14. I think they have to keep games close early and try to win those ugly 17-14 games because I know Bill loves to win that way. What do you think?
No, I think you take a look. I mean, that's going back a long way, but 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. If it was a 9-6 game, we won. If it was a 32-29 game or something like that, we won, and it was. Playing good defense, not allowing them to, score in the red area, holding them to field goals, playing smart in critical situations, and not making the mistakes to beat yourselves. And I think over the last couple of years, when, especially when Tommy left, you saw the team making uncharacteristic mistakes in those critical situations that are costing games. We'd go into a game and just be like, okay, we're not going to find a way to lose. We expect the other team to do that. And it's kind of different when you're looking at the Patriots like, hey, they're the dumb team right now.
Right.
So, hopefully they can turn that around.
And, of course, you mentioned Bill O'Brien. I'm sure you believe you were there with him before, obviously, and you believe he brings credibility instantly to that offense. But if you don't have players that can separate and get like a Devontae Parker, a big guy who can go up and get it, but he can't get separation. You bring Zeke Elliott in. It's a big name, but it's a guy that's, got 8 years in Dallas and a lot of tread on the tires. If you don't have guys that can get separation, is it really going to matter what you have as far as an offensive coordinator?
Yes, it will, because, coaching's about putting the guys in the right situation. Okay. Last year, I think, with Judge and Patricia, and I love Matt Patricia and Joe Judge as people and as coaches. It didn't work out for him on offense, but if you're relying on your offense to throw 50-50 balls, I don't care who you got out there. It's just not going to work out for you long term. So if Billy O can teach these guys into the system and bring them in, get them into the right spots. Hey, I want to call a zone beater when they're calling zone. I want to get into the right play, the right running play versus a certain situation. And Mac's got the ability mentally to do that. He can handle that. I think he took a step back last year based on the scheme and what he had as coaching and pieces around him. But, they're trying to put that back together to give him the best chance to succeed right now.
And that was going to be my question. Do you believe in Mac? Do you feel like this is the guy for us?
And I think this is the year.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody can say yes or no right now, but
this is the test.
You bring in Billy O, you're trying to commit to Mac and, that Zappy mania fever or whatever it was. I think it was just. I think they did the right move. And hey, Mac, it's your team, it's your offense. Let's see what you got. And this is the year.
And speaking of what you got, how about what they don't have, which is pretty much an offensive line? Are you at all concerned because now the backup quarterbacks, which Zappy didn't show much in the preseason, which I know a real game is different, and then we get this I never even heard of. So what do you feel like?
Well, and when you got a young quarterback like that, and you can bring in, I don't know much about Corral or whatever, Matt. I think Corral, whatever his name is. I think he's got a talent and he's got some ability. Obviously, the coaches think he can handle it, and they're going to throw everything at him to get him up to speed. If he has to come in, he's going to be able to make plays.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a work in progress. But keeping that line together or whatever parts they have, injuries have been a problem so far. And offensive line play is all about getting reps together, and they haven't had that.
Well, you're talking about that offensive line. You have to have cohesiveness. You have to have chemistry. They're saying right now it's not going to be a real healthy offensive line for maybe 5 weeks. If you're 1-4 at that point, you're already talking about Caleb Williams from USC, and you're tanking for draft picks. I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse.
You're giving them the number one draft pick already? It hasn't even started
I'm
yet.
just saying they got some tough teams to start the year. I'm just saying if they're 1-4, 2-5,
we're going to start tanking in New England now.
Well, that's how we've been feeling the last few years. It's been difficult. But I'm saying, you invested in Cole Strange. Everybody said he was on everybody's board in the 70s. They drafted him at 29. That's a guy that has to work out at left guard. He has to. And he had an up and down rookie year. Now he's hurt a little bit. On Wenyu, they've moved him all over the place, but they say he's actually the best of everyone. And of course, David Andrews played the same position that you played. He's the heart and soul of that offensive line. They need him in there. And I'm assuming Trent Brown on the left side, it's a contract year. He usually steps up when he has to play.
He knows when
it's time to get the cheddar. So I mean, it's just going to be interesting to see how it all comes together. But you got to keep Mac upright, and that's going to be a major concern.
It's I mean, the number one goal is to keep 10 clean. It used to be keep 12 clean for us.
Right.
And the less guys that hit him, the less guys get in his face, the more comfortable he gets, and he can stand in the pocket and deliver the football. But Adrian Clem is the new O-line coach. I'm excited to see what he has or what his coaching style is. And with Scar there, he always had guys ready to go, whether they were starting that week because somebody got hurt the week before, or they're going in the middle of the game, because somebody got injured. And those guys are important guys because they can just plug them right in, and your offense doesn't miss a beat. So with the new O-line coach and some new faces up front, it's a question mark.
You know how the buzz is in New England now because Brady's gone, and obviously he's retired now. But of course, we always thought when it was happening that it was Bill and Tom, and it was maybe a 50-50 split. But now you start to wonder after 3 seasons, we're into the 4th year, is it more like an 80-20 type situation where it was mostly TB12? And I'm just going to ask you,
it was mostly Dan because he protected
him.
him.
That's right. Thanks, Jess.
No problem.
I'm just going to come right out and say, has the game passed him by? Is he just hanging on to get to Schuler, or is can he still coach? I mean, because it looks like
he can still coach. There's no doubt about that. And I get the 50-50 or 80-20. I think you just take a look at what the league has been over the last 10 years. Throw 20 in there with Brady playing, how important the quarterback position is. I don't care what coach you are. If you don't have a quarterback, it's hard to win in this league.
But they weren't ready for life after Tom.
They weren't ready.
Cam Newton. All right, the COVID year, we'll throw it out. I don't care, but they still weren't ready. And I don't
that
think
COVID year sucked.
Right, and I don't even think he wanted Mac, to be honest with you. And now they were talking about Lance, who got traded to Dallas. Oh, could they bring Lance in? They're not going to bring Lance in making 6.5 to be the second or third string when he's making more than Mac. The Pats just don't do that. They didn't have a game plan, and that's what's concerning here. If you're in Patriot Nation, it's just and I like Mac, but can he make the throws? Does he have enough oomph to the ball? A lot of people think it's
the release.
It's Chad Pennington all over again. I don't know.
God, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Chad Pennington, you can go way back on that one. No, I mean, like Gabe Bill, that probably. Hey, I didn't expect Tom to leave. Did you? I mean, it was one of those things where you here for so long, you win for so long. I get why he left.
Yeah,
but. It's kind of hard to plan for that when he had such a great relationship with the owner. But, there was no succession plan.
But he's retired now, and obviously life goes on. There's still treading water. They're a middling team. So they're in the middle of that first round. They're not getting that. They're not getting the number one. They're right in the middle, and that's not a good place to be.
Well, let's bring back Cam Newton. How about that? Let's bring back Cam Newton.
We'll start dressing Dean like Cam. Because we're on YouTube. Well, Dan, I know you are going to the game, so if they need you, can you suit up? Because I have a feel. All right.
Well,
I thought I'd ask.
We're done.
All right.
We're
So
done.
you got to get going, and he has a pregame, obviously.
Dan, last question for me. Obviously, people, if they don't know, your father-in-law is former Patriot and Raiders running back Mark Van Egan, 2 Super Bowl rings, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
You have 2. Do you guys show each other's rings and get the hardware out and stuff?
He brings them out every now and then. His are a little bit smaller.
Okay.
His are a little bit smaller back in the day. He's got 80 and 80. 78 and 80, I think, or something like that.
And people don't. I don't think people remember on here. Now he played for the Pats at the end of his career. He was still a serviceable guy, a backup running back, fullback type situation. But I know that I believe he was in the snow game where they came out for John Smith in the 3-0 game where the guy who was on parole. They got him out, or he was on work release that day, and they shoveled the snow around.
Did they shovel, or they bring the John Deere tractor out and they swerved around to the spot?
And I think John Smith, who was the barefoot kick of the lefty, he banged it in for the 3-0 win, and your father-in-law was on that team.
Yeah,
but,
he was a great. I mean, he was great. And the funny thing is too, even about that with Poppy or Mark's last couple of years in New England, Dante Scarnecchia was on the staff.
Wow.
So I think Dante's first year with New England was Mark's last year with New England.
82, 83, yeah.
Come.
Crazy.
20 years later, I'm playing for Scar, so it's kind of a cool family dynamic right there.
And he's a Cranston guy, and he came out of Cranston.
Everybody's a Cranston.
Well,
Cranston is the center of the universe.
And he came out of Cranston West. Jess and I both went there.
Yes.
Jess a little bit after me, but Mark is
a Falconet.
I was a Westernette.
A Westernette?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I did the flags.
Mark is a legend in Cranston, and obviously it's good family banter, I'm sure, to talk about around the dinner table.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, Dan, thank you so much for coming in. I know you have to head to the game because you got to go support your guy, but we really appreciate you. And once again, you're with K-Mac every Wednesday, just checking in on the team and giving your analysis each week. So we really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today.
All right. Thanks for having me, and go Pats.
Go Pats.
Hopefully we get a win today.
I'm hoping. Fingers crossed.
Once again, want to thank Dan Koppen for stopping on by. That guy is the best, and hopefully we do see him around Cranston because it is the center of the universe. Speaking of Cranston, want to thank our sponsors, The Gentleman, East Street in Cranston. Sip, smoke, socialize. Premier Cocktail and Smoking Lounge is absolutely gorgeous. Of course, they have the patio and they can host private events. And then The Gentleman open on Sundays now. The season starts today. They're open at 1 o'clock. They have Bloody Mary specials. And, of course, they have Stoli Jalapeno specials. So make sure you check that out. Game time catered by Lou Umberto's. And you got to purchase a cigar to participate in that. But who doesn't love Lou Umberto's? Delicious.
And what's better, to be at The Gentleman?
Right.
Cigar, couple of cocktails, and football.
All day.
It doesn't get any better.
What are we doing? You got to go.
It's got to happen.
I love it. So, besides talking about The Gentleman, a little sneak peek, The Social House coming soon.
Yes.
So if PJ's Pub, the Gentleman, Social House, it's going to be fantastic.
And of course, it's close, but a lot of work getting done over there to get the place ready. And of course, our number one sponsor from day one, who's been with us almost a year now, is Prout Mechanical, doing all the HVAC work there.
You gotta love how it all comes together. Our boys.
This is why I couldn't wait for this time to have it all kind of come together.
Yep. So make sure you stop by the Gentleman, and once again, they're open on Sundays for the kickoff of the season. All right, so let's just blast through the games because I'm gonna have to put my glasses back on for this because I didn't want Dan to see me with my glasses because we need to get through all the games and how we feel, how it's going to work. Here we go.
And yep.
Go ahead. No, you were going to say.
No, you got. But the fact that you're more of like a spread person, I'm more of just picking the game. So that's how we're going to go this year.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to roll.
Yeah.
You can throw the spreads out there, but I'm basically just going to tell you who I think's going to win the game.
Well, there's no spreads in this thing that
So
I
then
sent
there
to
you go.
myself.
Okay.
I'll just go by memory. All right.
Wow.
Here we go. Carolina taking on Atlanta. 1:00 game. Who do you like for that? I believe Atlanta is the one that's giving the points. I think it's 3.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta's at home. They're big on the kid Desmond Ridder. I haven't seen enough. I'm not seeing it. Kyle Pitts, the tight end, top 5 pick a few years ago. Maybe he has a breakout year if they have a little synergy going there. Of course, Carolina on the road in this game. You've got Bryce Young, the number 1 pick in the draft.
Oh, yeah, very nice.
Okay, so there's something to look for there. I'm going to take Atlanta at home. I think they get a little something there. And, to me, that's kind of a little bit of a coin flip game, but I'm going to go with the Falcons.
All right, very nice. And the spread is 3.5. So I, too, will go Falcons. How about that? All right, second game, we got Cincinnati at Cleveland. That should be good. Joe Burrow is going to be playing for that game. And I'll check the spread. It is, Browns getting 2.
Yeah, and of course they're at home. Here we go with the home dogs again, just like New England, home dog.
Right.
They're saying Deshaun Watson looks really good. I didn't see it last year. He's been away from the game a couple of years. But a couple of, $200 million investment in him. He better come through. Joe Burrow, I'm a big fan. Burrow to Jamar Chase, I think it's the best combo in the NFL, and they're my pick to go to the Super Bowl this year. So
really,
so
wow.
I just leaked that out right there. I just
breaking news.
Yeah, I really do. I love Burrow, and I think it's they're not the Bungles anymore. They are the Bengals, and I'm going to take them on the road in this game.
Very nice. I am also taking them. Jacksonville taking on Indy. Yeah.
Okay, obviously at Indianapolis, that's about all they have going for them, okay? And they do have the number 4 pick, Anthony Richardson.
Ooh, they're getting 5.
Anthony Richardson, who should be holding a clipboard. They're throwing him into the fray. He will play. I'm very intrigued to see how he plays because there's a lot of raw talent there. But, of course, Trevor Lawrence, the way he finished last season, I love the way Jacksonville's heading in the right direction. And, of course, under Doug Peterson, who knows how to coach quarterbacks. And I love Jacksonville on the road. And, of course, Richardson, you'd like to see him be able to have ball control, handing the ball off. He doesn't have Jonathan Taylor, who's on the PUP list and wants to be traded. So it's going to be up to Richardson. That's a tough situation to put a rookie into.
Yeah, so what's going to happen? Well, I mean, we don't have time. We have to blast through anyway.
They're going to try to trade Taylor, and right now he doesn't want to play for them. So he's on the PUP list for 4 weeks. They're going to try to trade him once that's over. He could hold out the rest of it's not a good situation.
So he's still going to get paid. So sitting out, I don't think does you any favors.
No, he's on the PUP list, so he's getting paid right now.
Oh wow, that must. How do I get that kick?
Oh wow!
All right, we got Tampa Bay at Minnesota. The spread for that one is Minnesota giving 5.5.
Yeah,
and I mean Baker Mayfield's going to be making his debut.
He is, and I think Minnesota takes a step back this year. I think they overachieved last year. Kirk Cousins,
you like that?
Kirk Cousins can put up points. He can't win in the postseason. I do like him in the regular season. I'll still take Minnesota. They don't have Dalvin Cook anymore, but they still have Justin Jefferson, who's probably number 1 on everybody's fantasy board.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He is. I don't know how he makes those catches.
Yeah.
All right, then we have Tennessee at New Orleans. That game is boring.
I mean, you got New Orleans at home with David Carr, Derek Carr, their new quarterback. David's his brother, but I'm not a Carr guy.
And Dominic is his uncle.
Oh wow! I'm not a big Carr guy, but they are at home. Mike Vrabel looking for a bounce back season from the Titans.
Yeah, they were bad.
They go in there with Tannehill and DeAndre Hopkins. That one's a tough one. I'll take New Orleans. They're at home.
All right, and they're giving 3. Let's see, switching back and forth right now. San Francisco at Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh is going to show us something for the first game because they're at home.
And I'm going to take Pittsburgh in this game also.
No!
Because I think Kenny Pickett throwing the ball to George Pickens, and hand it off to Najee Harris. I think Mike Tomlin, he hates to lose. I think they have a nice bounce back year. Pickett has looked great in camp, and you don't usually get much out of camp, as Dan Koppen said. You don't see a lot in preseason, but I'm going to take Pittsburgh in the upset in this game. San Francisco comes in. Nick Bosa did get signed to that 5-year, $170 million extension. He's the do-it-all edge rusher, defensive end. That's nice for San Fran. I love them this year. I think they're going to be in the Super Bowl, but I don't like them in this game.
So Purdy, there's a lot riding on this. One, he's come back from surgery, and two, it's like, was last year like a flash in the pan? Like, is this good? Is he going to perform just as well as he did last year?
Last pick in the draft, but they're definitely all in on him because they traded Trey Lance to Dallas, and they let the Galloping Chicken walk.
Right.
So obviously it's all Purdy.
All right. So there. By the way, Pitt is getting 2.5 on that game.
Home dog.
Yeah. So then we have Arizona taking on Washington. I'm going Washington in this game, and I'll check the spread as you talk about it.
Okay, this is one of those games where, like,
7.
I love the fact you like to lay 2 bits in because there's no reason for me to watch this game. If I'm desperate, I'll watch a Blue Bloods marathon. Okay, Arizona doesn't have a quarterback. The kid Dobbs just came over in a trade. They're gonna probably throw him in there. Colt McCoy was their number 1 guy.
Yep.
They caught him.
Where's he?
And Kyler Murray's probably not going to play this year because of the injury. So that team is a mess. They're in a lot of trouble. Washington, they got the kid Sam Howell. It's his first crack at it being a starting quarterback. I like Ron Rivera, but I think he could be on the chopping block. First coach to go. I'll take Washington just because they're at home.
Wow, 7-point spread.
Wow.
Houston taking on Baltimore. Baltimore's at home, giving 10.
Yeah, that's a lot of points, Jess. But of course,
Lamar's going to do 100,000 yards anyway. So
Houston's giving the ball to C.J. Stroud. That's the rookie that they just drafted high, kid from Ohio State. Baltimore's loaded. Lamar Jackson, he's never going to have more weapons than he has right now.
Seriously.
The kid Flowers that came out of Boston College, look out for him. I don't know what OBJ is going to do, but I like the weapons that Jackson has around him. And of course, he signed that big extension to stay.
Yeah.
Everybody stayed together there.
Yeah,
he loves it so much.
It's so nice.
10's a lot of points, but they'll cover it. They'll cover it.
I think so too. All right, then we have the next game, which is Green Bay at Chicago. Chicago showed me a little something last year. I feel like Chicago for this.
I believe they won 4 games. I think they double that this year and get into that 7 or 8 range. It's not going to get them into the postseason, but I think Fields makes a nice jump this year. They've made some improvements. They made that trade to get out of the first pick to get more players, and I think that's going to work out for them, okay? I'm with you. I like them in this game because Green Bay, I think Jordan Love's going to do a nice job, but in this particular game, his number 1 and 2 receivers are banged up this week, so I don't know if they're going to probably try to play in this game. But Watson and Dobbs are kind of hurt, so they may
Sounds
not.
like a series.
So
are you watching Watson and Dobbs?
I'm going to take Chicago at home.
Yeah, Chicago actually giving Green Bay a point for that. Then we have Vegas taking on Denver. Denver has a lot to prove this year, and wow, why is Sean Payton all over Russell Wilson? Talking about kissing babies and stuff, like he's being a real bum hole.
Well, and don't forget, Peyton started that stuff about the coach, Nathaniel Hackett, who's now with the Jets. So
he wants to fight with everybody.
He needs to just coach it. You're in there to turn Denver around, but obviously there's already something off with him and Wilson.
Yeah.
And I think Wilson has lost a step, and I don't think it's going to work there, okay? They are at home in this game. I'm going to take Vegas on the road. I got to think I got to think Garoppolo in his first game, if he's healthy. I think Denver's going to be a mess again this year.
Wow.
I do.
Because I picked Denver, and by the way, they're given 3.5. Okay, well, we'll see how that works out. Then we have Philly. We already talked about that in New England. Miami and the Chargers. Chargers, I feel like they start good and then they suck.
Yeah.
Like they're just not good.
But Herbert's going to be an MVP candidate. I think he can I think he can light up the scoreboard. Yeah, he's terrific. I just don't like the coach. I don't think he can manage the clock late in games. They're at home in this one. Miami on the road, I think, is the better team. But I'm going to take the Chargers in this particular game.
All right, I took the Dolphins, and by the way, the Chargers are giving 3. And then we have the Rams and the Seahawks. I'm going Seahawks. I believe the spread is 5.5.
They gave it to Geno Smith. They got out of Russell. Obviously, that turned out to be a nice move, but now they've invested in Geno Smith. Can he do it back-to-back years after holding a clipboard for a bunch of years?
Right.
We're going to find out. Of course, the Rams on the other side, Jess, on the road, going into Seattle, Matthew Stafford's looking at a team that's already peaked. They were all in to win that Super Bowl 3 years ago, and they won it.
Yeah.
I think that team's history. Cooper Kupp, he's not playing in the first week, so obviously you don't have your best receiver. Aaron Donald's starting to get up there a little bit. That's a team that's in transition. I'm going to take Seattle at home.
All right, very good. And then we have Dallas at the Giants. I'll check out that spread for you. 3.5 to the Giants. The Cowboys, they got a lot to prove.
Yeah, but everybody's hyping them up, saying that they're right behind Philly for that division this year. They like them, and I think Brian Daboll in his first year with the Giants, getting them to the playoffs and winning a game versus Minnesota, did a great job. But I think that Daniel Jones and the Giants take a little bit of a step back this year. They can still compete for a playoff spot, but I think they're going to be in that middle in like 9-8, 8-9 range. At home on this one, I'm going to take Dallas on the road.
I am taking Dallas too. And then final Monday Night Football. Very much looking forward to Jets-Bills at the Jets. They're getting 2.5. I'm going Jets.
And this is Aaron Rodgers, his first game. They brought him in here to win games
Yep.
like this. Prime time, Monday night, the crowd, all of it. The bottom line with Rodgers and the Jets, it's all about protection. Can they protect him? The kid, Mekhi Becton, he's going to be the starting right tackle. He's been hurt for 2 years. They drafted him, I think, 11th 3 years ago. He's always hurt. They need him. If they can protect Rodgers, we've already seen in Hard Knocks, he can still put it wherever he wants to put it, okay?
Yeah.
And
He's talking football.
I meant the pigskin, okay? But I like the Jets to beat Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills in Week 1.
All right. Excellent. All right. So that was our little look around the league. We're going to thank our sponsors, and we're going to come back with baseball because I feel like we've really hit a lot of football. I want to thank our sponsor, Prout Mechanical, located in Providence. You can call them up at 401-487-4343. Even visit them online at prouthvac.com. That's prouthvac.com. They're a family-owned company. They have over 20 years of experience. They're a Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Diamond Elite contractor. They have the heat pumps, the mini-split ductless systems, and if you're looking to heat up your home, the mini splits are the way to go. They're located in Providence and they service all of Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. They offer services for residential and light commercial. So if you are looking at getting those heat pumps or mini split ductless systems, may I recommend Prout Mechanical in Providence. Their motto, quality and customer service is their top priority. Call them up 487-4343. We also want to thank Second Time Around Sports. You know, Dean, this past week it was so hot. It was like summer was back. And so, you know, at Second Time Around in Wakefield, they have all the beach gear because who knew that we'd still need it? Towels, sunblock, everything for the summer fun that has been extended because it was hot and disgusting. Like, so
we jinxed it. We said the summer was over and it was 90s.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
like,
brutal.
It felt like 100.
But that's good for second time around.
Yep, because they still have the water shoes, hats, umbrellas, backpacks, beach chairs. Because I do like going to the beach like after season and around 3:30, 4 o'clock. You know, on the weekends when people are leaving, you sit in your little beach chair and perhaps have some vino. Anyway, I don't do that. It'd be vodka. Second Time Around Sports. They've been around since 1992. They have 2 locations, Cranston and, as I mentioned, in Wakefield. Both stores are unique and they have huge golf sections. And Top Golf will be opening soon, so maybe you get a little practice in because they also have a golf simulator and shooting room for hockey. They have tons of stock for football and hockey. They're doing the fittings. And if you need to learn more, follow them on social media. The number 2, X Around Sports. Let's get to baseball. I mean, honestly, we don't have much baseball. I mean, our teams suck.
Thank God, because we don't have much time left.
Yeah,
either.
that's also true. We got 14 minutes. Oh, well, I mean, we had Superbowl champion in Dan Koppen.
Dan Koppen, we thank him. He was terrific. But, you know, you still got baseball.
Yep.
And obviously, you know, whether the Red Sox and Yankees going to be golfing in October, that's pretty much looks like it's a foregone conclusion. The Red Sox are 72 and 68, and the Yankees are 70 and 69, so they're still fighting it out for the basement. But there's still a lot to play for in a lot of these teams. But you look at Boston and New York, I want to look at a silver lining, Jess. And obviously, there's not much. But, well, now you look at September. You got guys that get called up now, September call-ups, because they expand the rosters. They don't go to 40 anymore. They just they go like to 28. You can bring 2 or 3 guys up. So I'm looking at 2 guys, one for the Red Sox, one for the Yankees.
Okay.
The Yankees, Jason Dominguez, remember the name, okay?
Okay.
Homered off Justin Verlander the other night, and I think it was his first at-bat in the Major Leagues.
Oh, yes, first pitch, wasn't
first
it?
pitch. So they're already calling him the Martian, as if like he's from Mars or something. Like he's like this guy that's like just going to save the day. But no, seriously, watch out for Jason Dominguez. They love this kid when he came up. They signed him, I think, when he was 16. Okay, so he's a young kid already. They signed him in 19. He's only 20 right now.
Oh, my God. What were we doing at 16?
So look out.
Nothing.
Look out for Jason Dominguez.
Losers.
The Yankees need something, a little infusion of some youth to go with some of these veterans that look like they've slowed down. And the Yankees need to retool for next year and put their next team back together. Look out for Jason Dominguez. He's the present and he's the future.
Very nice.
Circle over to the Red Sox. Look out for Ceddanne Rafaela. He's the kid that's like their number 2 prospect behind Marcelo Mayer, who has been shut down for the year with a shoulder injury.
Oh, great.
So Rafaela comes up and can play shortstop and center field. He's one of their top prospects, obviously number 2 in the system. He can steal bases. He had 20 homers in the minors and can steal a lot. He can run. They put him at shortstop in the series at Tropicana Field. He looked a little bit raw. He looks like he's got a long way to go, but he's somebody to look at. He's small. He's about 5'9", but he's got a little pop in his bat. if you see some footage of him and you watch him swing, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here because this is be a reach.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of Mookie Betts in him.
Oh,
Mookie
well,
was
we like
small.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
So we're going to trade him.
So we're going to lose him eventually.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at silver linings for Boston and New York as you start to look at the next team. You put him up there next year, whether he's in center field or whether he's at shortstop. Jaron Duran had foot surgery, so maybe he comes back next year. If not, Rafaela could be their next center fielder. Trevor Story's their shortstop. So there's a lot of different things they can do with him. They even had him at second base the other night. He hasn't played second base since like Little League, but they threw him over there. So they can move him around. He's got speed. He's got a little bit of pop for a small guy. So between Dominguez and Rafaela, I think that's a little bit of hope for Red Sox and Yankee fans.
Very nicely done. You want to do some birthdays? Oh, wait, do you want to talk about Giancarlo Stanton getting 400 home runs and, who cares? The team sucks?
I do not.
All right, great.
But I did see something, Jess, the other night. I think it was Thursday night. Wednesday night. Scherzer and Verlander went against each other.
Oh, they did?
It was Astros, Rangers, and they're both playing for that division now because the Rangers kind of hit a wall. Evaldi just came back, but they matched up against each other, and Verlander went, I think 7 innings, was lights out. Houston beat the living daylights out of Texas in a 3-game series. They destroyed them. And Scherzer was out in 3 innings. He got shelled. Houston's 80-61. They lead that division by 1 game. So the American League's kind of getting a little bit interesting there. And you flip it over to the National League, and it's the Dodgers at 84-54, led by Mookie Betts, 38 home runs, and Freddie Freeman hitting about...
Batting 7,000.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman hitting about 340. Wow. And, of course, the Atlanta Braves at 90-48. And we mentioned the aforementioned Ronald Acuna Jr.
I know.
He's been lighting it up. He's got 30 homers and 60 stolen bases with still almost less than a month of the season to go.
People love him.
So there's a lot still going on in MLB. I know everyone's into the pigskin right now, but there's still baseball, and we're still going to see how it goes when the playoffs are starting. Before you know it, a month away, and there's still some divisions that need to be settled.
And who'd you say at the beginning of the year you really like the Braves, right? Is that your team?
I said I like the Braves. I said, not my team, but I believe that they'd be the best team in the National League. The team that I really was disappointed with was the San Diego Padres this year. They spent all that money, and I thought that they would finally take that division. Just goes to show you can't buy a championship because it's just not working for them. They're not going to make the playoffs, not even the third wild card.
Sad.
So, yeah.
But we don't know anything about wild cards with our team neither, so.
Right. So,
okay. All right.
It's over.
Birthday time.
Okay.
And this is also your 10-minute warning. 10-minute warning. What do we got?
It's not bad. 10-minute warning.
I know.
All right. So, legendary golfer, deceased now.
Okay.
R.I.P. Arnold Palmer. Okay?
Oh, great drink.
1929, he won 7 majors, 4 Masters. 1958, 60, 62, and 64. Arnold Palmer, an absolute legend. You're talking about the drink, which is what? Lemonade mixed with iced tea?
Woo!
Okay.
And some Grey Goose.
All right, so there's alcohol in there too, right?
Obviously.
I'm
well,
the
you can have
bartender,
it,
huh?
yeah, you can
Some
straight
people
up,
just have it, without it. But what's the point, right? What's the point? All
Dumb.
right. So Arnold Palmer, one of the great golfers of all time in a class act, passed away in 2016. How about Roger Maris?
Oh, hey, Yankee.
Born in 1934, 7-time All-Star, and everybody thinks that it was a great story how he hit the 61 home runs. It was the most. If you see the movie 61, we talked about it on one of our canned editions of Keeping Score with Jess and Dean. And I got to say, Roger Maris did not enjoy that home run chase. He got tortured trying to pass, the great Babe Ruth.
Right.
And of course, they tried to put an asterisk next to it saying that he played less games. He beat him. He hit 61. I mean, you can't control how many games someone plays in a season. But Roger Maris, you know what the problem with that was, just. They never thought that he was a true Yankee because, you had Mantle there. They were fighting it out until Mantle got hurt late in the year. But, Babe Ruth, even though Babe Ruth started with the Red Sox, they considered Ruth a Yankee. Maris came over in a trade. They didn't think he was one of them. So they didn't want to see someone like that break it. They wanted the Mick to do it.
Right.
And Maris broke it, 61 home runs in 1961. Roger Maris born in 1934. Randy Johnson.
Oh, very good. Not a good-looking fella.
No, definitely not. He's no Clooney. He's not going to be on the cover of Vogue. But Hall of Fame pitcher, one of the best left-handed pitchers of all time, 6'10", one of the tallest pitchers of all time, I think the tallest, 10-time All-Star, five-time Cy Young Award winner. He turned 60 today.
Oh, very nice.
And by the way, he was one of those guys, obviously, in the 2001 World Series, he was, I think, MVP. Him and Schilling, they're the ones that beat the Yankees pretty much single-handedly. And I got to say, he's a guy that did not flourish when he went to the Yankees. I think his best days were behind him.
Yeah.
Yankees had him in
They made him cut his hair.
I think it was 2005. I remember the first interview. He was walking in, and he, pounded the guy with the camera. I got too close to his face. He, rocked it.
We won't do that to our cameras.
No, we can't afford to.
Yeah.
Then there's no visual anymore. Randy Johnson is 60.
Okay.
So those are my athletes, and I got one actor. Ryan Phillippe is 49.
Whoa,
okay?
Cruel Intentions.
I got him down for Cruel Intentions.
Yeah.
And, of course, was married but now divorced from Reese Witherspoon.
Very nice. Did you like Reese Witherspoon? I thought she's a good actress, but
I'm not a Witherspoon fan.
Okay.
No, I'm out on
All right.
Witherspoon.
With her
okay?
fork. All
and
right.
those are my birthdays for September 10th.
Very nice. We also want to thank PJ's Pub. We were there the other night, and I stayed until closing time. It was even was thinking about. I was toying with at 12:50, asking for a grilled cheese, but we didn't do that because it was bread. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, they have their late night happy hour, $10 domestic beer pitchers, 2 for $10 Tito's cocktails, $10 wing baskets, $10 margarita pitchers, and $10 seltzer buckets. Now, that's in-house only. That's late night happy hour at PJ's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. And as we mentioned, football is here, so they have their Bloody Mary specials, draft specials, catering for game days. We can bring that stuff to Bobby's house, and of course their new project on the way, Apponaug, Warwick. I would travel to Warwick for these guys. The Social House coming soon.
I told you, I've seen like a little bit of footage on
Yeah.
it. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, I have no doubt. Thanks to our sponsor, PJ's Pub. Thanks for giving me a hangover.
You gave yourself
I mean,
one.
if you see that we posted pictures from there, and I'm like, if you look at the pictures, I'm like, oh, I was not sober.
By the way, I noticed you looked at my little glass and you thought it was like it looked like an overpour, but Angie knows like, just get me to where I need to, just so it's.
She felt you out
No,
on that
but
one.
she knows they have different versions of what they give. So like,
Yeah.
nobody's doing anything wrong. That's
that was a rocks glass, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what
well
else are
done.
we gonna put it in?
I don't know. Though it's gonna. Usually, sometimes you get
Snifter?
sometimes you get it in a shot glass. Sometimes
right.
you have.
See, I don't like that because then they fill it to the rim and then it's like messy and then the fire.
Suck it.
Well, the fire's got the sugar and it gets a little sticky. So like, I don't care what the size of it is, but put it in a big enough glass where I can corral
And
it.
that's what. You can Matt corral it. No, that's fantastic. All right, we have 5 minutes left. We also want to thank Dan Koppen for coming in. That was so awesome. So he's going to be at the game today. And did you like in the interview he said Tommy? That's so funny. Like Tom Brady, Tommy. That they still are. I've heard his interview with K-Mac. They still are in group texts with each other.
I mean,
there's a bond that those players have. Forever.
Those offensive linemen, they work hard. They earn their pay. But of course, you get the hardware. Brady's reason why a lot of guys have rings on their fingers.
True.
And of course, Koppen's probably
Not Giselle.
Dan's very, very blessed to say that he's a Super Bowl winner. And of course, those years in New England, there's nothing like it. I mean, those are years that you'll be able to talk about for the rest of your life.
I think I'm going to order PJs for game day. I think I'm going to order some wings. I didn't have wings the other night. I think that's going to be the call. Although, Asian chili pepper, buffalo honey. I would like to have all flats, but I know they can't do that anymore. I think I've decided.
Oh,
it's taken me this full hour to see what I'm going to eat today.
They mix them up. You can't say I want I don't know.
You used to.
Yeah.
You used to say all flats.
They crack down on that.
And then they're just like, you get what you get.
Right.
And you like it. And I do. I just take it. So, but yeah, that's what I think. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do wings. And then I'm going to walk 100 miles.
By the time I got to you the other night, you guys had already done your damage.
Yeah.
So it was we were just drinking at that point.
Yeah, we got the Johnny K burger, no bun, and then we did we split a wedge. Yeah, it was delicious. A lot of people don't think about going to PJ's and ordering a salad, but they should because they're huge and they're delicious and they're fresh.
No, it's the place to be.
All right,
and we're always there.
I know we are always there. So where are you gonna you're gonna watch the game at home today? Is that how I'm feeling, or do you want to come to Bobby's and not sit on the couch? Not be allowed.
I appreciate it, but I'm going to pass on that. I'm going to balk at that last offer. I wish.
Why? Because you can sit in your man cave and have all the screens.
I unfortunately wish I could tell you I have a game plan, but I really don't. And sometimes it's okay not to.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't.
But you're just refusing me.
Right. No, I don't have anything to do, but I'm telling you,
I'm not going to be with you.
It's not going to be in the kitchen. No, it's not going to be in Bobby's kitchen. Not going to happen.
Wow.
And that's no indictment on Mama G or your crew.
She just came back from Florida.
Oh boy.
Florida at the end of August, beginning of September, man. 1 billion degrees. Imagine it was so hot here, which I'm not a fan of this heat.
Right.
Mama G, we're glad she's okay because I'm just like, she doesn't drink water. And I'm like, you're gonna pass out, broad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's all I got. I'm so
not,
excited for the season.
It's great to have football back. It's nice that even though we had a busy show today, that we're able to kind of breathe a little bit right now and kind of take it to the finish line, and instead of blowing through it and crushing it. But it's fun to get back and try to pick these games and of course enjoy the day and watch them.
I know. I'm in 3 leagues.
Oh, that's a lot right there.
1 with the spread, 2 straight up.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking about I may maybe do some switches. Because you got me thinking, but then if I switch it, then I'm going to be pissed at you.
No, don't do that. Don't do that because that's not on me. You asked me on the spot,
right.
on our show, and that's a different ballgame. Stick with your gut. Never change your pick.
Denver though.
Listen, I think they're a mess. They're at home. They're in Mile High, but other than that, I just don't. There's something off there. There was something off with Russell last year. Now Peyton's there, and he's acting insane, stupid. Something's weird.
Yeah,
there.
like he's
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Very moody.
Just coach. I mean, when they're talking about putting the immortal Jared Stidham in, then we know something's off with Russell Wilson. Maybe he's lost 6 steps. He fell off a cliff.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, all right. So I'm just going to keep what I have.
Just stay with Jeff because you're probably right.
Fine.
I mean, you know me. I'm picking different than you are. I don't pick with the spread, so I just don't like Denver this year.
Maybe I'll give you next week. You can do one of my pools. And I'm also in a suicide pool, so I went Eagles. So they better freaking win.
We're doing that at work too. Christian decided to do it where it's like you got to lose twice though, because it's if you're gonna put up a stick or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you lose the first week and you're done.
Yeah,
that's a tough one. I'd rather just go bet 100 on a game then.
Right.
And maybe I win. You know what I'm saying? No. I didn't say no. I said I'd rather. I'm not doing that.
I think.
No.
All right.
No, we're on YouTube now. I don't want to know.
Yes.
There's no mush in here. I'm not. Listen, I work hard. I can do a lot with a C-note.
Yeah, I know. But you had them all in your pocket the other night. This is Keeping Score with Jess and Dean the Dream. We are on YouTube. We are on Instagram. And we are on your podcast. So wherever you get a podcast, you can find us. 790 The Score. And once again, thanking our friend. I think he's our friend now, Dan Koppen, for coming in.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Huge guy and fantastic. And that wraps everything up. Till next week, my friend.
I'll see you then.
All right, but you won't see me at Bobby's.
Enjoy the pigskin. Absolutely not.